Hey, how you doing? Doing all right? That's good. I totally just punched myself in the lip. I was gonna do, okay, so we're here to learn about how to make a nourishing herbal infusion out of stinging nettle, but I was gonna do, and I might at some point, but I just got a hard, resounding no from the universe when I punched myself in the lip, about making, a slippery elm ball recipe video, like how to make a slippery elm ball for sore throats and stuff, and I still will do it at some point, but this fucking bucket that I keep my honey in has like a Fort Knox lid on it. It is like, even with I have a bucket lid opener, so you don't kill your hands trying to open it, and I was usually go this way, but I'm really small, so I really have to put what little body weight I have into it, so I'm doing this. And it totally slipped, and look, I got a fat lip. I totally just stabbed myself in the face with a bucket lid opener. So moving on. I mean, I didn't have to tell you that, but it's on my mind, and I'm like, you're kind of like my friends, and so I'm like, hey, man, I just punched myself in the face with a bucket lid opener. So that's out of the way. So we're going to make a nourishing herbal infusion of nettle, which is good because, I really need to nourish my taxed adrenaline glands, and I'm coping with stress, and nettle is great for that because when you're really stressed out, your adrenaline, you're just going, and that's kind of what causes anxiety. And a lot of people, I think personally, it's just your adrenaline glands get drained and blah blah blah. So nettle infusion. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take a jar. You need a jar. Alright, this is a half-gallon jar. You can scale this down. I'll tell you the weights in a little bit. This is a digital kitchen scale. You just need some type of scale that can weigh out an ounce worth of herb. A lot of people are like, well, how many cups in an ounce of nettle? I can't answer that question reliably. It's easier just to have a kitchen scale, and every time you scoop out, like if the plant, matters, grind a little further, or it's a little denser, it's a different type of plant, you'll never be able to know exactly what amount of an ounce goes into a cup or whatever. So just go spend like 10 or 12 bucks on a digital kitchen scale, or you can get even cheaper ones. You can look around for used ones, whatever you gotta do. I like these funnels because they help me not make as much of a mess. So I've got my water. You're going to hear it start screaming here pretty quick. I'm putting my jar on there, and I'm going to hit tear. You can also do it to where you put it on there and then turn it on, and it'll automatically be torn. Let me change it to ounces. That's not. Come on. It's fighting me. Scale is fine. There we go. And now, because it's 1 ounce per quart, and this is a half-gallon jar, I'm going to put 2 ounces of nettle leaf in this, and this is stinging nettle. Not going to sting you. People hear that word, and you bump into her and she's fresh. She doesn't actually sting you. She kind of hits you with like an acid type of like a histamine response, and then it hurts. But once she's dry or cooked, that ability goes away. In fact, one of the things she's pretty good at is being a natural antihistamine, meaning nettle is also great for people who have seasonal allergies. So there's 2 ounces of nettle. I only made barely any mess there because of the scale. Well, because of this, not because of the scale. There's the scale to clean stuff for me. And so now I'm just waiting for my water to boil. So while we wait for that kettle to start screaming at me, nettle is good for supporting your adrenaline gland. She's good for thyroid support. She's great for people who are under a lot of stress and just like really having a hard time coping. But she is a powerhouse of nutrition. She has A, B, C, K, all the way through all these vitamins and minerals. And she's really, really great with iron too. So if you have low iron levels, and the good thing is because she does have a decent amount of vitamin C in her, your body can actually process the vitamin iron. Vitamin iron! You know what I mean? So you need vitamin C in your body to process iron. There we go. Oh man. So basically, she's really good for anybody and everybody who's walking this planet, because aren't we all living with a copious amount of stress? One thing that she really helped me with over the years, as while I was coming off of benzos that I was put on for decades for anxiety, is that she helped me with my body cope with the stress of that utter, like, horrible, painful change. There's my water. Let me grab my water. All right. Filled that kettle up way too much. But she's just really good at helping our bodies cope with the physical process of stressors. Whether that's stress from your work, stress from anxiety, stress from medication or drug withdrawal, same thing. And she's just a fantastic ally in that way, because she is so full of nutrients. And then she's great for supporting allergies and things like that too. But my main thing that she's great at is supporting those depleted adrenaline glands. Now I'm going to pour a little bit in there like I did, and then I'm going to make a mess and give it a stir. Because if you don't stir it, you won't get as much water in there as you would. Alright. See, now I can add quite a bit more water. You won't ever get your half gallon out. You'll get about 6 cups out of this. Maybe 7 if you squeeze it. And now I'm going to cap it. Hot, very hot. And I'm not going to shake it. So basically what you watched me do was put 2 ounces of dried stinging nettle leaf in here, and then pour boiling water over top and put a cap on it. Now I'm going to wait until this is like room temperature, then I'm going to pop it in my fridge until tomorrow around the same time. I like to let nettle set a little longer sometimes. You can do an experiment where you let it just sit for the 8 hours, you strain it and you drink it, and it's going to be, it's going to taste really bad. But if you let it sit for at least 24 hours or even a little longer, if you let it sit for like a whole 24 hours and another half a day, I noticed that she goes past the chlorophyll flavor, and I think what's happening is that enough nutrients and vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff are being extracted into the water, that it just balances the taste out. She tastes a lot better when you let her sit for longer. And then really cold is important. Drink her really cold. That helps with the flavor. At first, even when you let it sit longer, you're not going to like the taste. I didn't like the taste when I started it, but about 3 months in, my body actually started craving it, and now it's kind of like chugging cold milk. It doesn't actually, I know it's not milk, it's not thick like milk, but it's almost like the same sensation you get if you drink really cold milk. You're like, oh. It's the same thing, and I don't taste it anymore. What's happening is that your body actually starts to associate her with nutrition, and so your taste buds change. Kind of like, stop eating candy bars because I care about you and they're bad for you, but stop eating sugar for like a month and then try to eat a normal candy bar and watch how quickly you're like, ugh, it's so sweet and your teeth hurt. Well, it's kind of the same way that how we can adapt to really unhealthy foods and thinking they taste good. When we taste healthy foods, we're like, oh, that's horrible because it doesn't have metric tons of salt or sugar in it. But speaking of salt, some people do find that nettle is a bit more palatable. Like, I did this in the beginning where she'd be really cold, and then I'd sprinkle salt on the top and drink her that way. Whatever way you go with nettle, savory is the way. Don't try to add sweetener to it. Oh, just don't try to add sweetener to it. Do salt, or like you could do, some people do like miso, or, you know, some type of soy sauce, you know, the higher quality ones. She'll just go better that way. I like her as is, and I like her really cold, and I drink about this much in a day and a half. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that until your body's accustomed to it, because what's going to happen is that she does give you a lot of energy from just the pure minerals and stuff that are in her. God, you ever realize that you could be sitting down and you're like, why was I standing? And what happens is your body can like instantly like basically process this because it's in liquid form. And even though if you're eating like a really well balanced diet and making sure that you're eating lots of healthy animal fats and well cooked veggies and grains and all these things that need to be in our diet, you're still probably lacking, you know, because we get busy and we didn't eat that way our whole life and things like that. So she can make you kind of shaky. Especially as she starts to support your adrenaline, and so just go slow. I'd probably start by making a quart, which is just a quart jar, 1 ounce, boiling water over top, same thing. And then just start with like half a cup a day and work your way up. Once you got to the point where you could drink a quart in a day and not feel it, all bets are off. Just drink as much as you want, really. She is a natural diuretic, so that means that she's going to help your kidneys optimally function, which means you're going to piss more. A lot of people, you're going to read that she's a detoxifier, and she'll help flush all these toxins out of your body. Don't treat your body like a car filter. It doesn't work that way. She's not flushing anything out of your body. What she's doing is she's helping your kidneys function like optimally, and then your kidneys do the job of processing toxins out of your body. You know, we want to use herbs that help support our body's natural function, but when you start to get into like heavier, like heroic plant allies that are more on the toxic poison level that force something to happen, I'm just trying to say that people really hurt themselves trying to detox their body. It's so dangerous. You don't need to detox your body. You just need to support your body, give it nutrition, support your body's natural functions. It knows what you're doing better than whatever blog mom article you're about to read. And I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying be careful. But nettle, she is a food, which means she's a food. Now, nettle that's fresh when you harvest it in the spring, and you're like cooking with her, she's delicious. She tastes entirely different, but she's still a food when we do it this way too. And so she's got lots of protein in her, and that means she's good at helping blood sugar regulation, stopping us from crashing. And she's just, I like to have nettle in the morning for breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person. I should say I'm not a big breakfast food person. I usually eat like around 10:30 or 11. I have my first substantial meal. But in the morning when I wake up to like get my digestive tract going, I drink a cup of nettle. And that helps me to not feel like all shaky from like blood sugar crash because you haven't eaten in like 8 hours. But it also, I don't feel so gross after like shoving, you know, like biscuits or gravy in my face. I can't eat that, actually. It makes me really sick. I just can't do biscuits and gravy. So Nettle is my friend. She keeps me going when I'm exhausted. And I don't mean keeps me going in the way that caffeine forces your body to produce adrenaline, and then you're like, yeah, and then you crash, and then you have a fucking anxiety attack because you have no energy left to give, and it just kind of builds, and you get in this horrible cycle again and again and again. Nettle helps break that cycle and just supports energy and getting through like really stressful and drained and exhausted times where you fucking punch yourself in the face when you're trying to open a bucket of honey. Because she gives us good nutrition and supports natural adrenaline function. That's nettle infusion. And it's so easy to make. I probably could have come on here and been like, hi, hey, how you doing? 2 ounces in, boiling water, cap it, let it sit, strain it, drink it, good to go, see you later. But I'm just going to let myself talk the way I normally talk. So if you want to come here and visit for the hands-on free herbalism farm that I'm this close to opening since we bought the land and everything, you should probably prepare yourself that this is like what it's like to be around April. This is just, and this is me tired. If I really get going or really excited, like be prepared to like melt your face with just like information overload. But mainly I want you to know that you're smart enough to do this, and that it's really not that complicated. You don't need to pay somebody to take a course to learn how to dump fucking hot water over a nettle. You're smart enough to do this, and it really bugs me when I see people think that they have to take all these courses or they feel overwhelmed on where to start because it's just been also made so complicated, and it doesn't have to be. I forgot. I'm cussing a lot more in this video, so I'm probably going to get some mean comments. If you're watching on Instagram, you're probably used to me cussing. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not all that used to me cussing a little bit. But make sure either way that if you like what I'm about and if you can handle me, to subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment, share. All these things help people find me. They help get this information out there. They help other people realize that they're smart enough and that it's so easy to step onto this path and start taking care of yourself. And you can be a real human and do it too. You don't have to have perfect production. You don't have to have, I know this is in regards of like sharing, but I think sometimes a real problem is that herbalists they make everything they do seem so goddamn majestical. Like their kitchen setup is perfect, their audio is set up is perfect, their clothes is beautiful, they speak so eloquently. Don't even know if I said that word right. They can speak Latin names like it's their first fucking language, and it makes you feel intimidated, like you have to study for years. And I want you to know that there's nothing wrong if you want to be that person, but a lot of it's a mask. A lot of it's just a sales pitch and how we've been conditioned to like think that we have to be that way and seem super enlightened and perfect and capable. You don't. In fact, it's the low down, I can't fucking do anything else today type of people that need to step onto this path the most. You know, because it's simple actions like pouring some boiling water over some dry nettle leaf that can start giving you a little bit of your life back and a little bit of control back and feeling hope. And these rhythms and routines are really good for mental health. I make a nourishing infusion about every day, maybe every other day if I'm slacking. Sometimes I utterly forget because I'm human, and then my husband's like, made you an infusion. I'm like, oh, thank you. It's been like 3 days and I feel like I'm gonna fucking die. I ate goldfish crackers that my kids don't need to be eat, but I like buy out of habits for breakfast or something, and I think I need to take a shower. So you can be a real human and practice herbalism. So I'm gonna get off here. This is way long of a video. I will see you later, okay? Bye. Oh, did I say after you let it infuse, you strain it and drink it? I know I said to drink it, but strain it. Take the plant matter out. Usually use like a mesh strainer or a coffee filter. I have these really cool like tea infusion things that fit in there that I flip upside down, like a mesh infuser that helps it strain out. There, I remember to say that. See, I'm a human. All right, bye.